Albert Einstein once said, "Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous." This powerful quote prompts us to explore the enigma of divine intervention, a concept that has intrigued thinkers throughout history. Have you ever mulled over those moments when something unanticipated yet transformative takes place in your life? Instances so meticulously timed and flawlessly orchestrated that they transcend mere coincidence? Some may attribute such events to chance, but others perceive the subtle influence of a supreme power. It's during these moments that we encounter a touch of divinity subtly influencing our routine world, often in ways we least anticipate. Visualize God's message as a love note, not an ordinary note, but one not confined by ink and paper. This love note is carved into the fabric of our lives in the minutest details and the most monumental occurrences. It's the morning sun's warmth on a chilly day, a child's laughter, a stranger's kindness, or the resilience arising from adversity. God's love letter isn't an archaic manuscript, hidden and forgotten. On the contrary, it's an animated testament of a divine love that saturates our existence. It's a love that's always present, always communicating if we just pause to listen. The message is subtle yet immense. It reassures us that we're not alone, that there's a celestial force that deeply cares for us and directs our lives in ways we often fail to grasp. It's a message of hope and divine friendship. Whether you have faith in divine or not, the notion of a superior power steering our lives provides comfort to many. It's a radiant beacon in a world frequently enveloped by darkness, a sanctuary in times of unrest. And thus we proceed hand in hand with the divine, maneuvering the rise and fall of this astonishing, tumultuous, and beautifully unpredictable journey we call life. As we delve deeper, we find that the core of God's message is love. Imagine a world where love is the cornerstone of every interaction, where kindness and compassion are not just ideals, but the norm. This is the world that God envisions for us, a world steeped in love, the universal language that transcends religion, race, and societal barriers. But how can we recognize this divine love? It's not as elusive as you might think. God's love can be seen in the most ordinary acts of kindness and compassion. It's the neighbor helping another clear their driveway after a heavy snowfall. It's the stranger who gives up their seat on a crowded bus for an elderly person. It's the young child who shares their lunch with a friend who forgot theirs. These are not grand gestures, but they are profound in their simplicity. They are manifestations of a divine love that encourages us to look beyond ourselves and consider the needs of others. They are proof that God's love is not an abstract concept but a tangible force that can be felt and shared. And what's more, God's love is not selective. It does not discriminate based on our faith, our skin color, or our status in society. It is a gift generously offered to all of us, regardless of who we are or where we come from. This universal love is a testament to God's infinite compassion and acceptance. It's a reminder that we are all children of the same divine parent, equally deserving of love and respect. It's a call to action, urging us to mirror this divine love in our own lives, to spread kindness and compassion wherever we go. In the end, understanding God's love is about more than just acknowledging its existence. It's about embracing it, embodying it, and passing it on. It's about creating a world that reflects the divine vision of love and unity. God's love is not restricted to a certain group of people, it is all-encompassing and ever-present. It is crucial to actively reflect on God's love in our lives. Life's journey is often like a tapestry, woven with threads of various experiences. Some we might recall as joyous, others as challenging. But through the lens of reflection, we can identify instances where a divine presence has subtly guided us, like a gentle whisper in the wind. Consider those moments when you felt an inexplicable peace amidst chaos, or when an unexpected solution presented itself in the face of an insurmountable problem. These are not mere coincidences, but rather, the manifestations of God's love and guidance in our lives. Reflection is not simply about looking back. It involves recognizing and acknowledging these divine interventions, like the way the sun acknowledges the dawn by gently painting the sky with hues of gold and crimson, or how the moon pays homage to the night by casting a gentle glow on the world below. In our daily lives, we are often caught up in a whirlwind of activities and responsibilities. We rush from one task to another, barely pausing to breathe. It's easy to overlook the subtle signs of divine love in this hustle. But just as a painter steps back to appreciate the masterpiece unfolding on the canvas, we too must take time to recognize and appreciate the divine love shaping our lives. Gratitude is a powerful tool in this process of reflection. It helps us see beyond the surface to appreciate the unseen hand that guides us. When we express gratitude, we are acknowledging the divine love that permeates our lives. We are saying, I see you, I feel you, I appreciate you. In the end, the essence of reflection is about deepening our spiritual connection. It's about understanding that we are not alone on this journey. We are guided, loved, and protected by a divine presence. So take a moment, reflect on your life, identify those instances of divine intervention, express your gratitude, and feel the warmth of God's love envelop you. Remember, recognizing God's love in our lives is the first step towards a deeper spiritual connection. God's love is not just a concept, it is a call to action. Consider the idea of love not as a mere emotion but as a driving force, an energy that propels us to action. That's the essence of God's love. It's an active love, one that encourages us to spread kindness and compassion in the world. But how do we put this love into action? Let's start with empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Empathy is the cornerstone of God's love. It's about seeing the world from another's perspective, recognizing their pain or joy, and responding with kindness. It's about listening, not just with our ears but with our hearts. God's love urges us to extend this empathy to everyone we meet, to be a comforting presence in times of sorrow and a source of joy in times of happiness. Next, we have forgiveness. It's not always easy to forgive, especially when the wounds run deep. But God's love is about healing, about letting go of resentment and anger. It's about wiping the slate clean, giving others a second chance just as God forgives us. Remember, to forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you. Understanding, too, is integral to God's love. It's about accepting others as they are, acknowledging their intrinsic worth, and appreciating our shared humanity. It's about recognizing that everyone is on their own unique journey, and we all make mistakes. It's not about judging, but about reaching out with compassion and grace. As we embody empathy, forgiveness, and understanding, we become living expressions of God's love. We become more than mere spectators in the grand spectacle of life. We become active participants, spreading love and light wherever we go. So let's respond to God's call to action. Let's put love into action, not just in grand gestures but in the everyday acts of kindness that make the world a better place. In living out God's love, we become a beacon of hope and positivity in the world. In times of adversity, faith in God's love can be a powerful source of strength. Life is a journey filled with peaks and valleys. We all face challenges, some minor, others monumental. But in these moments, when we feel the weight of the world on our shoulders, it's our faith in God's love that can provide the strength to press on. Picture a small seed buried in the dark soil. It faces the challenge of breaking through the earth to reach the sunlight. It's a struggle, but it's in this struggle that the seed begins to grow, to transform. Much like this seed, we too can use our adversities as opportunities for growth, for transformation. Our faith in God's love can be the sunlight that guides us through the darkness, the nourishment that fuels our resilience. Consider the story of a woman named Martha. She was diagnosed with a life-threatening illness. The prognosis was grim, but Martha held on to her faith. She believed in God's love, in His plan for her. She prayed, she fought, and she remained hopeful. Today, Martha is a survivor. She overcame her challenge not because it was easy, but because she had faith in God's love, in His strength. Now remember, faith isn't about denying the existence of hardships, it's about acknowledging them, confronting them, and trusting that God's love will see us through. It's about recognizing that we are not alone in our struggles. His love is our constant companion, our unwavering support. Our faith, our belief in God's love, can be the beacon of hope that lights our way through the darkest nights. It can be the force that lifts us when we fall, the courage that pushes us to stand tall in the face of adversity. God's love doesn't promise a life free of hardships, but it does assure us that we are never alone in our struggles. It's a promise of companionship, of strength, and of unwavering love. So when challenges arise, lean on your faith. Remember, God's love is with you always. Embracing God's message of love can transform our lives in profound ways. This isn't just a catchy phrase to throw around, it's an invitation to enter into a life of love, peace, and deep spiritual fulfillment. When we fully embrace God's message of love, we begin to see the world through a different lens. Our perspectives are broadened, our hearts softened, our spirits lifted. It's as if we're stepping into a new world, a world filled with hope, light, and endless possibilities. Imagine waking up each morning with a sense of peace that surpasses all understanding. This peace isn't dependent on the circumstances around us. It's not contingent on the weather, the news headlines, or even our personal struggles. It is a peace that flows from within, a peace rooted in the understanding of God's unfailing love for us. Now, picture a joy that is consistent and unwavering, a joy that doesn't fade with time or diminish with trials. This is the joy that comes from knowing that we are deeply loved by our Creator, that we are cherished and valued beyond measure. It's a joy that permeates every facet of our lives, filling us with a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Embracing God's message of love also fosters a deep sense of spiritual connection. We become more attuned to the divine, more aware of God's presence in our lives. We start to see His hand in everything, from the grandeur of nature to the simple, everyday moments. We begin to appreciate the beauty of life in all its complexity and simplicity. But embracing this message is more than just a passive act. It's a commitment to live by the principles of love, kindness, and compassion. It's about extending grace to others, just as God extends His grace to us. It's about striving to be a reflection of God's love in the world. When we truly embrace God's love, we start to see the world in a whole new light. It's a light that illuminates the path ahead, guiding us towards a life of love, joy, and spiritual fulfillment. Prayer is a powerful tool for connecting with God's love. It's more than just a ritual or a tradition. It's a heartfelt conversation, a deep dialogue that fosters a profound connection with the divine. It's a beacon of hope, a source of solace, and a conduit for grace. Prayer is like a bridge, a link that connects us to God. It's a channel through which we can express our deepest emotions, our joys, our sorrows, our hopes, and our fears. It's a way to pour out our hearts and bare our souls to the one who knows us best. In prayer we are seen, we are heard, and we are loved. But prayer is not just about speaking, it's also about listening. It's about quieting our minds and tuning into the divine frequency. It's about seeking guidance, discerning God's will, and aligning our lives with His divine plan. It's about finding comfort in His promises, strength in His words, and peace in His presence. Prayer is also a source of strength. It's a spiritual exercise that strengthens our faith, nurtures our spirit, and recharges our soul. It's a divine shield that protects us, a heavenly balm that heals us, and a sacred fire that purifies us. In the face of challenges, prayer equips us with courage. In moments of doubt, it reassures us with faith. In times of despair, it uplifts us with hope. In periods of darkness, it illuminates our path with divine light. Prayer is also a way to express our gratitude. It's a way to count our blessings, appreciate God's goodness, and acknowledge His providence. It's a way to express our love for God, our devotion to Him, and our commitment to His cause. Prayer is not a monologue, but a dialogue. It's a divine dance between the human and the divine, a sacred exchange between the earthly and the heavenly. It's a spiritual journey, a celestial voyage, and a holy pilgrimage. Through prayer, we can tap into the infinite love and wisdom of God. We can access the divine treasury of grace, the celestial storehouse of mercy, and the heavenly reservoir of peace. Prayer is not just a spiritual practice, it's a way of life, a path to God, and a journey to the divine. In conclusion, God's message of love is a powerful force that can transform our lives. We've journeyed through an exploration of divine intervention and the profound impact of God's love. We've reflected on the depth and breadth of this divine message and how it manifests in our actions, helping us overcome challenges with faith. We've considered how embracing God's message can bring about a transformative change, not just in our own lives, but also in the lives of those we touch. And finally, we've delved into the power of prayer, a personal conversation with the divine that allows us to tap into this divine love. As we wind up, I encourage each one of you to reflect on this divine message in your own lives. Strive to embody this love in your actions and interactions. Remember, God's love is a gift to us all. It's up to us to unwrap it and share it with the world.